Saving fuel is smart business. The North American Council for Freight Efficiency says the typical tractor trailer is getting about 5.91 miles per gallon. But it is possible to do much better. 20 fleets reviewed in its annual fleet study averaged 7.28 miles per gallon. And during its Run on Less demonstration, equipment averaged 10.1 miles per gallon. So clearly, vast improvements are possible. What special challenges do tanker fleets face in pushing for such fuel efficiency improvements? I asked for input on that question from fleet executives and industry experts at a recent roundtable on management best practices, sponsored by Transcourt Tank Leasing. Let's go to that conversation now.
For me, saving fuel is one of the top priorities, because the result of what you can save the company to do the same job is instant. The single biggest impact is making the drivers aware that we're watching fuel was the #1 thing we did. As soon as the driver pool realized I was watching fuel this closely, and I watch it every single day, as soon as they realized that, all of a sudden, all the numbers started, all the data, I can show you exactly when they were just magic, everything started to change. We were part of the Smart Way program. That was one of the first things. We did that first to benchmark, back to what you guys, we wanted to benchmark our fleet first against peers. And then we said, okay, now that we've benchmarked it, instead of it being, you know, this is Mark trying to save fuel, it's part of the program. It's a Safeway program. We want to be part of this program. So we did that. We did some restriction on top end speed, and we got good results with that because of the weights and so that is, I think that's probably one of the best things we've done is top end speed. We went to all Michelins, which they have a great rolling resistance. They're carb certified and some of those things. So tires, brakes, all those things play into account.
Is a fuel efficient driver also a safer driver?
Absolutely, and the reason I would say that is anybody that has too many hard brakes, which directly impacts fuel efficiency, is tailgating or following too close at least. So those who have great following distance usually have very good fuel economy.
John, are you, in your many years of experience on the insurance side, are you seeing that correlation between a fuel efficient driver and fleets that focus on fuel efficiency and a better safety record?
There's a direct correlation. It's so simple. So we actually measure the success of a truck fleet financially on the insurance side in a matrix that comes down to a cost of claim per truck, per year, per kilometer, per 1,000 kilometers. And if you graph them, there's a direct correlation between the cost of claims and the cost of fuel. So, because a driver who's driving, I call it a measured response. So when I train trucking, you'll do the same thing. A poor driver believes he's just driving his vehicle or her vehicle, right? Car, truck, whatever it might be, eh? Yeah, and a professional driver is dancing with everyone on the road. And it's a beautiful thing. It is an art form. The more you measure something, the more you'll change it. Human intervention in studying things is incredible, what we can change. And it's just by studying it and then having very small changes in the way you manage people and the way you approach them. And that's why I talk about language all the time, the language you use. Eh?
Having got into the technology side about 9 years ago and measuring and really seeing a 3 to 5% savings right away, and the good companies are passing that on to the drivers.
That's where you'll get your most benefit is with the drivers. I mean, I spent years on fuel and measuring it and working with drivers, and you know, we tried fuel additives and air deflectors and the hydrogen induced and low rolling resistance tires, and all those do provide some. Yeah. It's almost impossible to measure it. You put them all together, you're probably going to see you'll see the results, but individually they're very difficult to measure. But with the drivers, it's immediate, and it's called the Hawthorne effect. When you just tell them you're going to start measuring it, immediately you see some change. And then when you start posting the results, then they're all in competition. But when you finally give them some incentive, which is the path that we took, that's when we saw the biggest results.
What role do you see an industry supplier such as Transcourt playing in helping guide fleets towards better fuel performance, helping them understand how the design side of the trailer can help in making them more fuel efficient?
So the conversations that I have with customers are more around weight. And so, you know, guys might pull a trailer and say, hey, that trailer was a little heavy, or I like this brand because I feel it's a little bit lighter. And so we have those conversations, and a weight obviously is going to impact fuel economy. But I mean, I would love to partner with customers and look at putting side skirts on more of our trailers. I mean, we're absolutely open to exploring things like that.